The Legend of Tianding is an action side-scroller that feels both stylish and full of personality. Set in early 20th century Taipei, its comic book-inspired visuals and martial arts combat create an engaging atmosphere that's hard to put down. The gameplay mixes platforming with dynamic battles, where every move feels impactful and rewarding. The story, inspired by folklore and history, adds a unique flavor that makes each stage exciting to progress through. As an action-adventure, it remains entertaining from beginning to end. Jitsu Squad is pure arcade chaos with bold visuals and a loud, colorful art style that hits hard. The combat feels satisfying with smooth combos, flashy specials, and tag team mechanics that keep the action moving. Each character has a distinct personality and playstyle, making co-op sessions unpredictable and fun. Boss fights are huge, wild, and keep players on their toes. There's a real energy pulsing through every level, backed by a banging soundtrack. A game made for those who crave classic beat-em-up action with modern flair.
Whether you're a magician.
Lost Castle is a charmingly chaotic roguelike beat-em-up that blends retro visuals with frantic co-op action. Its randomized dungeons keep each run fresh, while a quirky cast of enemies and loot-driven progression fuel the fun. Combat feels satisfying with a wide variety of weapons and abilities to experiment with, especially when teaming up with friends. The humor and art style add a lot of personality, making each session enjoyable. This is a hidden gem for those craving fast-paced, light-hearted dungeon crawling. Shakedown Hawaii explodes with retro chaos and satirical humor, throwing players into a wild open-world sandbox packed with missions, businesses to take over, and pixels that pop with color. The 16-bit aesthetic pops with nostalgic flair, while the soundtrack drives each reckless move forward. It's hilarious, hectic, and packed with tongue-in-cheek commentary on modern consumerism. A mix of business management and mayhem makes every session unpredictable and addictive in the best way possible. Ray's Arcade Chronology is a dream compilation for shoot-'em-up enthusiasts, reviving Taito's classic Ray series with elegance. The fluid gameplay, amazing sprite work, and pulse-pounding soundtrack all stand up well, with new features like rewind and graphic improvements providing modern ease. The shift from 2D to 3D in Raystorm and Ray Crisis is smooth, demonstrating the series' growth. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to these arcade classics, this collection offers furious action and tremendous replay value in a polished packaging. Yuppie Psycho Executive Edition is a thrilling and unique horror game that perfectly mixes dark humor with eerie storytelling. The quirky characters and clever puzzles keep players engaged while exploring a bizarre corporate world filled with secrets. Its pixel art style adds charm, creating a captivating atmosphere that stands out in the genre. The gameplay challenges the mind without feeling frustrating, making it an enjoyable journey for fans of psychological horror and satire alike. A genuinely fresh take on office nightmares. Shadow of the Ninja Reborn is an exciting action-adventure in which players wield katanas and other weapons. They must join forces with famous ninjas Hayate and Kai to confront deadly adversaries throughout 6 meticulously constructed courses. The game has a 2-player co-op experience, a lethal arsenal of caltrops, shuriken, and other weapons, as well as 5 redesigned courses loaded with clever traps and difficult platform puzzles. The game also has a new, modern style with amazing sprite art that accurately upgrades the popular 8-bit predecessor. The Ninja Savior's Return of the Warriors stands out with its fierce combat, sharp animations, and satisfying momentum as each stage pushes forward. Enemies fall in rapid waves, creating a steady rhythm that keeps the action engaging. Every character feels distinct, encouraging different approaches and rewarding mastery. The soundtrack adds strong energy, and the revamped visuals give the classic foundation a fresh spark. This remake stays faithful to its roots while adding enough modern touches to make each run exciting and worth jumping back into.
The Soviets are heading in the opposite direction.
Little Orpheus dives into a vibrant, side-scrolling adventure packed with color, humor, and clever storytelling. The retro sci-fi aesthetic feels fresh, supported by expressive animations and witty narration that keeps the tone light and engaging. Each level feels thoughtfully designed, shifting between lush jungles and surreal landscapes with smooth transitions. The soundtrack adds a cinematic edge, enhancing the mood without overwhelming the gameplay. It's a bold, imaginative journey worth exploring for those seeking something different. Sephonie is a 3D puzzle platformer transports players to the mysterious dungeons of Sephonie Island, where they must parkour through bright caves, aquatic kingdoms, and exotic cityscape environments. The trio of scientists set out on a mission to discover the island's mysteries, but their adventure takes a dramatic turn when a strong storm leaves them trapped. As they dive further into the island's secrets, their motivations and loyalties are tested as they encounter physical hurdles. The ancient power in the depths might imperil their relationship and the world around them. Wild Guns Reloaded is a thrilling blend of classic arcade shooting and modern design. The fast-paced gameplay keeps players constantly engaged, while the variety of characters and weapons adds a refreshing layer of strategy. Each level is packed with challenging enemies and dynamic environments that test reflexes and timing. Cooperative multiplayer ramps up the excitement, making teamwork both essential and fun. With its crisp visuals, energetic soundtrack, and satisfying combat mechanics, this game provides countless hours of adrenaline-fueled action.
Still waiting. He ain't looking like the old king.
Regalia of Men and Monarchs is a strategic role-playing game set in a distant country, with the player inheriting a debt-ridden monarchy. They begin on a journey to reclaim their family's legacy, which includes difficult turn-based fights, various missions, and distinct monsters. The game has a combination of comedy and grandeur. Players must recruit courageous warriors, administer regions, and form alliances to assure prosperity and expansion. The world is exquisitely designed with breathtaking vistas, dynamic cities, and lovely villages.
Regalia to its former glory.
1980X is a beautiful tribute to retro gaming, blending multiple arcade genres with a powerful coming-of-age story. Each game segment, from side-scrolling beat-em-ups to racers and shoot-em-ups, feels authentic and nostalgic, yet fresh. The pixel art is stunning, the soundtrack absolutely nails the era, and the narration adds unexpected emotional depth. It's more of an experience than a traditional game, but that's what makes it special. For anyone who grew up in arcades or just loves retro vibes, this is a must-play gem. Jackaxe is a vibrant, chaotic platformer that brilliantly blends Norse and Filipino mythology into a pixelated playground of axe-throwing mayhem. The controls feel tight and responsive, and the axe mechanic is both clever and satisfying, doubling as a weapon and a movement tool. Its colorful art style and upbeat soundtrack bring real charm, while the level design offers a fair challenge without being frustrating. Whether you're playing solo or jumping in with friends, Jackaxe delivers a joyful, action-packed experience that's full of personality and polish.
You should pity the villain. It means you should be...
Arcadia Fallen is a wonderfully designed visual novel that combines compelling plot and important player choices. The game's graphic style is amazing, with colorful character designs and expressive animations that bring the fantasy world to life. The protagonist is totally customizable, allowing for intense personal immersion, and the diverse ensemble is expertly crafted, making every encounter feel genuine. The voice acting enhances the emotional depth, and the soundtrack wonderfully complements the experience. Arcadia Fallen, with its blend of romance, magic, and self-discovery. Underground puzzle adventures rarely feel this charming. Stubborn molecats march forward relentlessly, and guiding them through twisting mazes requires rotating tiles and redirecting pathways before disaster strikes. Pacing builds thoughtfully, introducing hazards that demand creative spatial thinking. Collectible mushrooms and hidden artifacts encourage exploration and revisits. Hand-drawn illustrations and a whimsical soundtrack create a storybook atmosphere that stays inviting. Across dozens of cleverly constructed puzzles, simple concepts yield remarkably engaging and thoughtful gameplay. The Library of Babel stuns with its atmospheric world and hauntingly beautiful art style. Every frame feels meticulously crafted, drawing players into a mysterious post-human future. The stealth mechanics are intuitive and rewarding, encouraging patience and precision. Paired with a haunting soundtrack and cryptic storytelling, the game captivates with its sense of discovery and unease. There's a deliberate pace that lets the world breathe, making each moment feel earned. A must-play for fans of philosophical sci-fi and rich, immersive worlds. Hazel Sky is a refreshing adventure that keeps players engaged with its imaginative world and clever level design. The controls feel intuitive, making exploration smooth, while the puzzles provide just the right amount of challenge without becoming frustrating. Each stage introduces new elements that keep the gameplay interesting, and the soundtrack complements the atmosphere without overpowering it. Fans of thoughtful platformers will appreciate the careful balance of challenge and accessibility, making it a game worth revisiting multiple times. Twilight Monk is a hidden gem that blends martial arts action with a rich, hand-drawn fantasy world. The combat feels snappy and responsive, with satisfying combos and slick animations. Exploration is rewarding, with Metroidvania-style progression and secrets tucked everywhere. The art style absolutely pops, giving the game a unique, comic book vibe that stands out. The lore is surprisingly deep, pulling you into a world filled with monks, monsters, and mysterious powers. It's clear this was made with passion, definitely worth checking out if you love stylish action platformers. Buissons is a hilarious multiplayer, stealth game where players hide as bushes, sneak, and sabotage friends in chaotic arenas. The art is simple yet expressive, and the humor lands consistently well. Matches are quick, making it easy to jump in and out, while the gameplay keeps everyone laughing and on edge. It's especially fun with local multiplayer, perfect for party sessions. While light in scope, it smartly focuses on fun and creativity. A sneaky little gem that knows exactly what it wants to be and sticks to it with confidence. Pixel Grit meets mall-era chaos in a throwback brawler built for easy laughs and skill growth. Jay and Silent Bob roam familiar corridors as unlikely heroes, clearing trouble with simple controls and sharp timing. Combat flows in brisk bursts, balancing crowd control with readable patterns that reward calm play. Unlocks, branching routes, and character tweaks add reasons to replay without slowing the pace. Chunky sprites and a punchy soundtrack support the tone without stealing focus. This stands as a compact game that respects time and keeps momentum. Spelunker HD Deluxe is a charmingly retro platformer that brilliantly balances challenge and nostalgia. Its quirky physics and one-hit deaths might seem punishing at first, but they quickly become part of the game's addictive rhythm. With multiple game modes, couch co-op, and colorful HD visuals, it breathes new life into the classic Spelunker formula. The remastered soundtrack and updated graphics keep things fresh without losing that old-school charm. For fans of classic platforming with a twist, this is a hidden gem that rewards patience, precision, and perseverance. Retro City Rampage DX is a hilarious, over-the-top throwback to classic 8-bit action games. The open-world chaos is packed with missions, unlockables, and ridiculous weapons that keep gameplay endlessly entertaining. Nostalgic references and pop culture jokes land perfectly, giving each moment a playful energy. The controls are responsive, letting players wreak havoc with ease, while the pixel art style is colorful, lively, and full of personality. Every session is engaging, energetic, and wildly entertaining, keeping players hooked for hours. Psychic 5. Eternal hits with old-school arcade energy and clever platforming. The character switching mechanic keeps each stage fresh, while the catchy soundtrack fuels the retro vibes. Environments are colorful and distinct, filled with fun secrets and enemies that push reflexes and timing. It's a faithful tribute to the classic with thoughtful enhancements that modernize without losing charm. Those who enjoy a mix of challenge, nostalgia, and tight controls will find plenty to appreciate in this throwback gem.
This delicious meal has been prepared with the
Jamboy, a Jelly-cious hero, is a delightfully bouncy adventure that combines clever platforming with loads of personality. The jelly-themed protagonist moves with satisfying stretch and bounce, turning each stage into a playful challenge. The visuals pop with color, the upbeat soundtrack keeps the pace lively, and the puzzle design stays engaging without feeling repetitive. Every jump and squish feels rewarding, supported by fun animations and a cheerful tone. It's a bright, joyful journey that's hard not to enjoy for fans of inventive platformers.
I'll have the Jamboy, a Jelly-cious hero, please.
X-Out Resurfaced is a thrilling revival of classic side-scrolling shooters, blending retro vibes with sleek modern design. The controls are tight, the enemy patterns are challenging but fair, and the soundtrack absolutely slaps. Visually, it's a nostalgic treat with vibrant pixel art that pops off the screen. There's a great variety of weapons to experiment with, and the level design keeps the adrenaline pumping without feeling overwhelming. Fans of old-school shooters will find a polished, satisfying experience that respects its roots while feeling fresh. The Legend of Steel Empire is a classic-style shoot-'em-up powered by bold steampunk flair and confident arcade design. Airships, tanks, and mechanical foes fill the screen with constant action that rewards focus and steady hands. Level layouts push memorization and skill growth, while boss fights demand patience and precise movement. The soundtrack drives momentum without distraction, and the visual style keeps every battle clear and readable. A strong pick for fans of disciplined arcade shooters. Replay value stays thanks to score chasing and mastery. Ultracore brings classic run and gun action with confident style. Each stage feels carefully crafted, with responsive controls, engaging enemies, and a soundtrack that keeps the pace high. Weapon variety and level design encourage experimentation, keeping each run fresh. The retro visuals feel bold without relying solely on nostalgia. The challenge is steady but fair, rewarding focus and quick reactions. Every encounter feels satisfying, making the game consistently enjoyable and holds strong appeal for fans of action-packed shooters. Clockwork Aquario is a vibrant arcade gem with bold colors, smooth animations, and an upbeat soundtrack that fits perfectly with the action. The characters and enemy designs pop with retro charm, and the cooperative gameplay adds an extra layer of fun. Responsive controls make each jump and attack feel satisfying, and the short runtime encourages multiple playthroughs. There's a real sense of joy in every stage, making it a great pick for those who enjoy arcade-style platformers with a cheerful, nostalgic vibe. Devious Dungeon delivers a charming blend of retro aesthetics and addictive action platforming. With randomly generated levels, satisfying loot progression, and smooth combat mechanics, each run feels fresh and rewarding. The pixel art style is vibrant, and the responsive controls make slashing through hordes of enemies a blast. Leveling up and upgrading gear adds a welcome layer of depth without overwhelming the experience. Despite its simplicity, the game nails that just one more run feeling, making it easy to lose hours exploring its dungeons.